Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Angel of Death himself, John Rare. Here tonight, I want to discuss with you Carnage Cup 7. This was my debut Carnage Cup. Everybody knows it for the now famous Saul deathmatch with me and Spider Boudreau. Now, if you want a more in-depth discussion on this, there is a DVD called The Deathmatch Chronicles, the Saul edition. It actually breaks down Saul 1, 2, and 3, which are all me versus Spider. Or you could buy 10 Years of Carnage. All of these are on Smart Mark, or the DVD itself is Carnage Cup 7. So this was basically me breaking into Carnage Cup for the first time. Kevin gave me a call, told me to watch Thumbtack Jack and Drake Younger. They had a Saul match overseas, and he said that he wanted to redo it and, you know, bring it to American soil. And if you know Kevin, he always wants to overdo everything and, you know, step up the game. So we definitely did do our best to elevate the Saul deathmatch to a new level. And the original deathmatch with Thumbtack Jack and Drake Younger was insane. You know, razor blades. It was crazy. Definitely can look it up. Now in this one, we had the mega push pins on the chair there. We also had the saw blades, or no, actually razor blades on the chair. So this was actually the first time me and Spider ever met. There was all these rumors after the show that me and him were actually, you know, buddies and backyard wrestled together, and you know that was completely fake and false news. This was the first time me and Spider ever met, and you know, hell, he's a hell of a worker. I've grown to respect him with everything that I know. The dude brings it every show, no matter how he's feeling. And, you know, over the years, you know, definitely we've learned to trust each other, but hell, this was the first time we ever met. And, you know, he trusted me to do the famous box cutter spot that originally, you know, that was his idea, but originally it was just going to be us pulling out some box cutters and, you know, trying to show off and scare the crowd and, you know, get people hyped up for it. And, you know, as I said many times, Spider was like, hell, stab me in the arm, don't get my tattoos and we'll be alright. So, you know, the rest is history from there. I stabbed him in the arm. And, you know, that's pretty much how everybody in Alabama remembers me and knows me now. Even after this, I got booked at Next Era Wrestling. And I was thrown in a hardcore match. And the guys, you know, his words pretty much was, you know, I can't have you lose your match because you just won the Saul deathmatch, and it just wouldn't make sense. So the bookings that I got from this match itself hurt me and benefited me sometimes. The people that booked me definitely didn't want me to lose because I won this match, and then there was people that just didn't want to book me because of this match. Which, you know, back then I definitely loved wrestling a lot more than I do now. I won't say I hate the business, but I definitely don't love it like I did back then. You know, back then I was definitely traveling and I stayed as busy as I can. And, you know, now it's, what, 2019, and I don't like to be booked. I prefer to stay at home with the family now, making these cheap, stupid movies that I do. But You know, this match right here had the razors, had all kinds of crazy shit, and I think that's actually what I'm reaching for right there is my box cutter. It fell down in my pants, but Brett Lauderdale right there is the referee, and you know, he definitely looked out for us the best he could. He did rush the match once Spider got stabbed, which, you know, it is the ref's duty to look after us. And here, I believe, comes the stab spot. Let's see this right here. Watch this right here. And so many people actually thought this was fake, that we gimmicked this. There is no way in hell we faked that right there. That was a legitimate stab with a box cutter, you know, to his arm. And, you know, Spider, you know, as you can see, I was holding his wrist there. When I stabbed him, he barely even flinched. And, you know, definitely it looks a lot worse than what I think it was. You know, I've never asked him, you know, how bad the pain was. I'm pretty sure it was a sharp little pain. But the truth was, hell, the cut itself wasn't that bad. You know, by the time they put the tourniquet on him, probably did a little super glue, he went home and that arm was probably pretty damn fine. There's Talon and Kevin and some other random dude putting in a table the wrong way. That is razors, straight razors on that table there. Now, razor blades, a lot of them fell out there. But we are in Coleman here for Carnage Cup 7. Now, you know, at this point, this is where the ref was saying, you know, hey, y'all got to keep moving, because Spider was losing a lot of blood at this point. And there was a spot that we didn't miss here. There was a saw blade on the outside of the ring that he was originally going to take and put over my arm and give me a cut, but it got skipped over. And most of the time during the saw matches, we try to plan a bunch of sick shit, so just in case we do miss something, everything still gets a little bit of a showcase, even if we miss something. Because honestly, at that point in this match, you know, if that would have happened, it would have been good. But this match stands out alone by itself. Now, one of my things was, obviously, I was the underdog at this point in this match. Nobody besides local people knew who I was. I was just a local guy that would go to organizations. I'd travel with Action Mike Jackson. I also wrestled for Linda Marks on Wrestle Birmingham, and I would lose every week. So everyone thought this was the ending of the match right here. That was the Spider driver through a razor blade table. So obviously, hey, this kid's done. 1, 2, the kick out there definitely threw everybody off. Because obviously, when you look at this match, you would think that Spider was going over. And especially, this was Spider's comeback match. So I just kicked out of his finishing move there. And definitely, you know, I know the audience was shocked because this no-name kid going up against, you know, a very good veteran in Spider Boudreau, it definitely was a shock to see him kick out there, or me kick out. Now, I know this is another spot that kind of got messed up. We had a glass plate on the top of this Coke machine that I was supposed to, you know, shatter over his head here. Those are push pin, or needles. Those are actually sewing needles. So I'm looking right there and I'm like, hey, the fucking glass is gone, man. And he's like, fuck it, let's just keep going. Because, you know, at this point, I didn't know really how to lead a match too well. And this right here, his head busted off the damn concrete. My hip got hurt there. And this is actually the beginning of my hip problems that I ended up having. But honestly, it was a 2 count there. But they called the match over immediately there, which it was the plan to go home. But Spider didn't know where he was at. He's actually said before that he didn't remember anything from this point until he got to the locker room. But the cut itself, yeah, it looks pretty nasty right there. But this is Carnage Cup 7. You can buy all these DVDs on Smart Mark Video. Carnage Cup 7, you can do the Deathmatch Chronicles Saw Edition, or 10 Years of Carnage, which is a great documentary about Carnage Cup 1 through Carnage Cup 10. And all of these are available on Smart Mark Video, IWA Deep South. Spider gets up, walks to the back right there. You know, I'm celebrating in the ring. No one's really paying attention to me except a few people at this point. But, you know, this was a hell of first win for me at Carnage Cup. So, you know, this match right here definitely elevated the name of the Angel of Death, John Rare. And, you know, without Spider, yet again, you know, John Rare would just be an average jobber, probably, still on the indie scene. So, hopefully everybody enjoyed this one-on-one with this. I will be back to do more videos soon. Saw 2 will probably be my next one, going through the Saw series, leading up to the Angel of Death tournament, October 26th in Carrollton, Georgia, when the main event will be Saw Legacy. And hopefully everybody enjoyed. Leave your comments in the comment section, and subscribe to the John Rare YouTube page.